getting better when I'm 7.
Here we are, we got the 24 CRF 450 RX.
Brand new.
First ride. It has 0 hours on it. So pretty much, guys, this bike is off the showroom floor. I was gonna ride it for an hour and change the oil. I didn't even do that. We took it right here. One thing that I made Honda do was grease my linkages and grease everything, because a lot of people complain that they don't come very well greased. So I made Stu do it, but he's got to change his name, that guy.
For real. That's a pretty Stugatti name. Yeah. But it is Stu.
Yeah, if you're watching, Stu,
sorry,
Stuart maybe is better.
Stuart would be nice.
Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna be taking it out, Marco and I have
the pleasure to ride a brand new 2024 450 RX. I have a 2022. Apparently there's a couple of changes that Mike was telling me about. He knows more than I do.
Yeah, okay, well, the changes are,
yeah, let's go over this, because I really don't know. I know my 22 looks similar 100%.
it's pretty much the same bike, but you got a different steel here, which is harder for crashes. For some reason they changed it, and it's a little quieter. You might notice that.
Yeah, that I did.
It's got steel mounts. They took out the aluminum and they strengthened up the welds all the way around to strengthen up the chassis or the frame, and they stiffened up the suspension a little bit on the RX. And it also has, it went from a 46 millimeter throttle body to a 44 millimeter throttle body.
So they actually went smaller.
They went smaller to give it more torque and a little bit less top end, which a little more smoother, so it's an easier ride. And all the guys that were testing on it said it's working pretty good. When you come out of the corners, it's smoother, doesn't give you that hard hit, but I still think it's gonna have the hard hits.
The weld looked beefed up compared to mine.
And one more thing they saying that they did was they dropped the back shock a little bit on the mount.
Okay.
So we're gonna see that. So you got different springs, one size up in the front, one size up in the back.
In the back.
And the valving, I think, is the same. You just got a little harder spring, and let's see how it works. Marco's gonna compare it to the 22.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you how I like it. I like this 22 it was very comfortable for me. So, yeah. Well, if you guys don't know the difference between the R and the RX, he's saying, is that you got the 18-inch wheel
instead of 19,
and you got the bigger tank and the softer suspension for the trails.
Correct.
Which honestly works really good. I prefer the RX over the R so far.
Yeah, I would say after riding his 450R on the trails, I definitely noticed the difference in between setup, suspension wise. Definitely, even as far as the way the bike handles a little bit, because of the 19-inch wheel and 18-inch wheel. Definitely more friendly on the trails, the RX.
Well, the softer suspension, I find out, does a lot for the handling or for the grip.
Of course, on this terrain, obviously the comparison is not really it shouldn't be really compared, because we talk about a super motocross bike that we use on the trails, because Mike always loves the R, but definitely the RX is more friendly on the trails for that part. And as far as the power wise, well, you have almost the same motocross bike, but more friendly on the trails. That's what I figured out.
I bought the R because I am a little heavier than Marco, and I thought that beefier suspension was going to work good, but it just didn't. The RX still felt a lot better. Like, we're not going to go out jumping. We're a little old for that.
No, we definitely don't do that.
You know, we're not going to be doing doubles and triples. We're just going to be hopping a few logs here and there, and we need the proper suspension. So if you guys are looking for a bike to ride on the trails, get the proper bike. Don't go out and grab the R, because it'll be uncomfortable. You probably won't even notice, because we have the benefit of having both bikes side by side. But you know, you got to get the proper bike for what you're doing, and I promise you guys, it'll feel comfortable. If you guys are on an R and you feel uncomfortable on the trail, maybe it's the suspension, because the suspension does a lot.
Bottom line, DR is a beautiful bike. Of course, the look is more favorable, I would say, as far as look wise, because DR always looks a little bit more meaner than the RX because of the tank and because of that 19-inch wheel in the back. But still, beautiful bike to ride regardless, even on the trails. I enjoyed it regardless. A little bit hard on suspension and so on, but definitely still a beautiful bike. But yeah,
I still had tons of fun, but
yeah,
I didn't realize how nice the RX is actually in the right spot. So
there is definitely some difference on that.
So hang tight, guys. We're gonna take it out for its first ride. Marco and me are gonna switch it up back and forth, and stay tuned.
The
RX, the 24. Well, there are some changes. I felt a little different. Honestly, I felt a little less torque on this than Marco's bike. The suspension felt really good, comfortable, soaking everything up. And you know, it's got another position here for the handlebars, eh? So you can put the handlebars up.
I don't think I have that.
No, we don't have that.
Okay, so that's a new generation change. To put your handlebar a little bit more forward.
If you're a taller guy, but we're
well, that's a good improvement.
We're on the shorter side, so. But
yeah,
awesome bike, guys. Honestly, the 450 RX, you can never go wrong. It's just a sweet bike. The power delivery smooth. You know, I got no complaints. As soon as I got on it, I have 4 pins in this wrist, and it just eased my wrist from feeling the pressure, and it just runs good. It's a RX, nice. From the 22, not too much different from the 22. Like I said, maybe it's got a little less torque at the bottom from his 22, but Marco can tell you a little more about that.
Honestly, guys, it's not really noticeable that much. I mean, they're very similar in my opinion. They're very similar bike. I don't want to make a big issue out of both bikes. This one definitely feels pretty much like my bike. Of course, suspension wise, we have different setup. I have set up mine to my liking, but this one out of the box felt awesome, just like mine did as well. I just tweaked mine a little bit, but even this one, I would say already from the factory, it's pretty much all there. I have mine brand new as well, and I had the pleasure to ride that one when I first got it last year. and now is a 2024. I had the same pleasure with Mike. So definitely a beautiful bike. I enjoyed it.
Well, guys, let me tell you, CRF 450 RX out of the box. This thing's like off the showroom floor. Honestly, I didn't touch anything. I didn't do anything. I will be doing this week. Stay tuned for that video. I'm getting a new, I'm setting it up, making it my own, getting a new graphic kit.
We can't tell you. No, you shouldn't be disclosing what we're doing. Just watch the video, subscribe, and watch what's going to be done to this, because you're going to enjoy it. Rest assured, because Mike, every time he puts his touch, is always a touch. Yeah. I can't wait to see it. But don't say it yet, bro. Just make a video out of it.
I'm telling them there's a video coming up. They gotta stay tuned to see it. But out of the box, this is just an amazing bike for the trails, for what we do. Yes, it's this bike is the new XR from the 80s. Bottom line, they call it RX. That's XR. In the 80s, you had an XR with big tank, big power. This is it, and it works perfect.
Yeah, it definitely did. It's again.
It might be a lot of power for most people, but we're a little bit older, a little more experienced. We're not crazy. We're novice at best, but this is a great bike for both of us. I love it.
Definitely love it as well.
Perfect amount of power. I honestly gonna miss probably that little bit of torque at the bottom that's not there. I feel like there's something missing at the bottom. I have to honestly, when I compare it to my R's, or even Marco's 22, has a little more power, I think, because I gotta run it one gear lower than what I usually like when I'm pulling out of the corners. That's it. I just gonna get used to that, but otherwise, such a great bike. We're pinching hairs right now, but it's a great bike.
Mind you, guys, we're riding this bike with a stock map right now. We haven't changed any settings on the map.
On the standard map.
So we haven't used any other maps. So we are running on the actual factory map, which I would say is the most comfortable for riding.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the terrain. So we haven't tried any other the maps. I still ride my 22 on the factory map. I like it the best. It's comfortable in every directions as far as power goes. And again, yeah, powers wise, I think they're pretty much there, Mike. I wouldn't say there's
the power's there, no question 100%. About it. It's just on my I just got off of that 50th anniversary, and the power is a little bit different on that bike for some reason.
It's a lot different.
Yeah, but there's no problem. I promise you, once I ride this a few more times, I'm gonna be right dialed in, and it's just an awesome bike. I'm so comfortable on this bike. When I ride this bike, I feel confident. I feel like I want to go faster. It's like so nice. Like it's really that comfortable for me. I just want to ride it, and this bike here wants to be ridden. You have to keep the RPMs up. This thing here is made to go fast. It's not made to ride slow. So just keep that in mind if you guys are looking to buy one of these bikes. This bike is most comfortable at top speed, fast speed, wide open throttle. At slow speed, low speed, you need a lot of clutch work with this thing to keep it going. But great bike.